Good day, sir. My name is Romel Ogok. Um, Today, I will discuss about safety and emergency procedures during changeover of control of main engine and steering gear system. So, here it goes. Understanding steering gear in ships. Rudders are the principal system for the entire motion of control of the ships, but we mustn't forget that the entire rudder action is dependent on another pivotal system called the steering gear. So, we are familiar with the use of the rudder, which helps in turning a ship uh, as when required. In this slide, it shows the hand-operated steering wheel at helm for all in ships. So, steering gear integrated with the rudder system defines the complete turning mechanism, mandatory for each and every ship irrespective of size, type, and operations. Steering gear system has been an indispensable part of the ship's machinery since the advent of the very early ships which were operated by hand. So this is an example of old steering wheel system. So we have our wheel, handles, spokes, trailer ropes, our platform, trailer rope slots, pedestal, axle or spindle, hello, and barrel. Here are the rules set by the classification societies in order for the basic requirements to be invariably met by all steering gears. Steering gear system in ships. The efficiency of performance of steering gear depends on the some main aspects. These basic requirements to be invariably met by all steering gears are guided by rules set by classification societies. They can be briefly outlined as per standard requirements. The steering gear should be capable of steering the ship from 35 degrees port to 35 degrees starboard and vice versa, with the vessel playing forwards at a steady head-on speed for maximum continuous rated shaft RPM and summer load waterline within time frame of maximum 28 seconds. With one of the power units inoperative, the rudder should be capable of turning 15 degrees port to 15 degrees starboard and vice versa within a time of frame of 1 minute, with the vessel moving at half its rated maximum speed or 7 knots, whichever is greater at summer load line. The major power units and the control system are to be duplicated so that if one of them fails, the other can easily substitute for them as standby. Emergency power supply. The steering gear system is to provided with additional power unit, hydraulic pump, or etc. connected to the emergency power supply from emergency generator, which should be capable of turning the rudder from 15 degrees from one side to another side within 60 seconds, with the vessel moving at maximum service speed or 7 knots. Type of steering gears on ships. As ships continue to grow in size and become faster, modern system is easing human effort were incorporated. Basically, there are two types of commonly used steering gear system present. So, number one, hydraulic. Most of the steering gears found on ships have hydraulically operated equipment known as telemotor. This telemotor can also be electrically operated. The system is also provided with pumps to quickly supply hydraulic fluid to the rudder. Usually, variable displacement pumps are used for this purpose. 2. Electrohydraulic type. An electrohydraulic steering gear controls a ship's rudder, which is the ship's turning mechanism. Kawasaki boats the world's largest market share in the sector, with their products installed on a cumulative total of 20,000 vessels, reflecting the deep confidence customers have placed in its product. So, this is an example of modern day advanced steering control at helm. So, they have gauges, fuse, and other control system. The main control of the steering operation is given from the helm of any ship, similar to an automobile, where the entire control of the vehicle's steerability rests on the steering wheel of the driver. The control force of turning in it triggered for the off from the wheel of at the helm, which is the steering gear system. The steering gear system generates torsional force at a certain scale, which is then in turn it's transmitted to the rudder stock that turns the rudder. The intermediate steering system of the modern day ships can be multifarious, with each small component having its own unique functions. We omit this discuss each and every such component in detail. So, representative image of steering gear arrangement in ship. So this is a example of arrangement for our steering gear in a ship. So we have steering stand, starter, hydraulic pump, four-way valve, ship's steering gear control, ship's steering gear rams and cylinders, bypass valve, and ram. So, before I proceed to the next details about the steering gear, let us first go back to the main topic, the safety and emergency procedures. Procedures for starting emergency steering system. An emergency steering system, as the name suggests, is a system which is used during the failure of the main steering system of the ship. The article explains as to what exactly is the steering system, what the procedure for steering the emergency steering system is. So, what is emergency steering? A ship consists of electromechanical steering gear unit which steers the vessels from one port to other. Normally, steering gear unit is 2 or 4 ram hydraulically operated unit with 2 or more hydraulic motor for the ram movement. A situation can occur in which the remote control operation may fail to work and there can be sudden loss of steering control from the bridge. This can be due to the sudden power failure, any electrical fault in the system or the control system, which includes faulty telemotor or servo motor, which is used for transferring the signal from bridge to the steering unit. Procedure for emergency steering operation. The following points should be followed for emergency steering operation. The procedure and diagram for operating emergency steering should be displayed in steering gear room and bridge. Even in emergency situation, we cannot turn the massive rudder by hand or any other means, and that's why the hydraulic motor is given as supply from the emergency generator directly through emergency switchboard. SOLAS regulation. It should also be displayed in the steering room. Ensure a clear communication for emergency operation via VHF or ship's telephone system. Normally, a switch off is given in the power supply. Panel of steering gear for the telemotor, switch off the supply from the panel. Change the mode of operation by selecting the switch for the motor which is supplied emergency power. There is a safety pin and at the manual operation helms. So that during normal operations, the manual operation always remains in cut-off mode. Remove the pin. A helms wheel is provided which controls the flow of oil to the rams with a rudder angle indicator. Wheel can be turned clockwise or anti-clockwise, or going port or starboard or vice versa. If there is a power failure, through sound power, telephone receive orders from the bridge for the rudder's angle. As soon as you get the orders, turn the wheel and check the rudder angle indicator. To have control the steering of the ship at such emergency situation, with manual measure from within the steering gear room and emergency steering is used. A routine check should always be done for proper working of manual emergency system and steering gear system. An emergency steering drill should be carried out every month, prescribed duration 3 months. In the steering gear room, with proper communication with bridge to train all the ship's staff for proper operation of the system so that emergency situation ship's control can be regained as soon as possible, avoiding collision or grounding. So we should always know what to do during emergency precautions. So that's all. Thank you and God bless.